In this video, we talk about the new Hellhorse twin turbo for the S650, the first Saleen S650, and why the new GT California package is so special and why you may want to get one. Let's do work. Be sure to watch this full video because if you are subscribed and find the secret code word and mention it below, you'll be in my next video's Hall of Fame. That said, would a 1600 horsepower S650 Mustang tickle your fancy? Well, get your fancy ready to be tickled by Hellhorse, who is producing a twin turbo kit, making your pony preposterous, producing a hellish 1650 horsepower, allowing you to light the road on fire anytime a chump rolls up. Or in my case, anytime I go to the grocery store, post office, or well, anywhere at all. No streets are safe from the punishing power of Hellhorse. It's great to see the floodgates of the S650 mod starting to open up so we can all customize and perfect our Mustangs to our liking, so we can blow up our engines and rebuild them. The game we all love. As you know, in addition to Whipple's supercharger announcement, Ford Performance just dropped news of their supercharger kit, lovingly named the FP800S. This power adder takes your GT to at least 800 horsepower, making grocery getting fun. But more sinister minds were also at work here. 800 horsepower? Hold my beer? Nah. Hellhorse chugged its beer and then crushed the can on its forehead, saying let's double that number and then some. Commenting on an article from Ford Authority here, the new Hellhorse 2024 Mustang Twin Turbo Kit is compatible with both GT and Dark Horse bottles and the 5.0-liter V8 Coyote engine that powers both. Can you imagine a 1600 horsepower Dark Horse? Pardon me while I step out of this puddle of my own drool. Hellhorse utilizes a mid-mount design that places the turbos above the subframe, making it more of a stealth install and requires no modifications to OEM components for clearance, except for the need to remove the active grille, which I have no problem with. They say it's essentially like installing a set of headers, albeit while adding quite a bit more power. You think? Rated to produce upwards of 1650 horsepower, in fact, this Hellhorse kit comes with a pair of Comp Turbo triplex ball bearing oilless turbos, 45mm wastegates, custom 1 3/4 inch headers, an air-to-air 6-inch race intercooler, 3-inch turbo dumps, oxygen sensor extenders, lines, clamps, and all of the hardware one needs to complete the installation, all at a cost of $14,000 US. A small price to pay for elation on 4 wheels, I say. The question is the rest of the car built for even half of this horsepower? So prudent minds would also factor in the price to shore up your engine, drivetrain, tires, and pretty much even the paint of your car not to fly off when you punch the pedal of this bodacious beast. Ford Authority notes a caveat that installing this kit requires aftermarket tuning support, which isn't yet available. And it's also designed for track use only, and isn't quite road legal under the Clean Air Act. However, with time, it seems certain that not only will tuners be able to dial this new kit in, but we imagine that it, or at least a similar offering, will give owners a road legal twin turbo setup at some point in the near future. Would you get these Hellhorse twin Terpskis for $14K? Sound off in the comments below. Don't like the Dark Horse? Saleen is giving you a viable alternative for the same price. Our favorite Mustang masterpiece makers are back with the new 2024 Saleen 302 White Label, and it's not a second too early. Actually, I'm pleasantly surprised Saleen smothered their sexy sauce on the S650 so quickly, and I want one yesterday. Auto Evolution says, and I agree, Saleen optimized the airflow. A new front phaser shows up featuring an aerodynamic splitter and an air dam that also brings along downforce. There's a new vent up on the hood, which helps the 5.0-liter V8 breathe, along with a new axial grille and a front rear wing that is also intended for downforce. Saleen developed the entire aero package in the wind tunnel, and from the looks of this, I'd say it's not only fearsome looking, but also functional. Look at this Saleen line gracing the grille with the sharp looking black with yellow accent along the splitter here. And for those of you who didn't like the RTR nostrils in the front, Saleen gives you a more streamlined look. The front looks tantalizing, but I need you to sit down for the rear view. Are you sitting down? Wow. All I can say is this looks like a more affordable Mustang GTD from the back. Okay, maybe it's not exactly like the GTD, but it is GTD-esque, and with the GTD having the hottest Mustang rear end on the planet, that's never a bad thing. I mean, look at it. That aggressive flat rear deck lid spoiler with the hotness of Saleen badges on the trunk. I love the sporty yellow lines running along the diffuser and along the rear side winglets like this. Those continue down the new side skirts and into the front lip as I pointed out earlier, and the yellow line goes across the front grille, culminating into a Saleen badge, and continues into the cabin with interior stitching. We get Saleen badge badging on the steering wheel and shifter, and passengers are going to need that grab handle right there, especially when we get to the yellow and black label package we're going to discuss in a few. But here is literally the coolest thing about this car. Remember those huge screens which made the interior look more in line with an IMAX theater than a Mustang? Well, Saleen heard you, and what did they do? They decided to wrap a big ol' sexy dash around them, pulling the interior back towards Mustangdom. Great. Innovative job, Saleen. I love it. It looks more like a Mustang now inside and from those looking into the interior from the outside. Heck, I'd pay for that feature alone. The Saleen 302 White Label tunes up the GT's stock 480 horsepower to a funner 510 horsepower, and I personally can always use an extra 30 horsepower. And that takes it 10 more horsepower above the Dark Horse, by the way, which you probably won't feel, but hey, bragging rights. I'm just kidding, never brag, always be humble. Anyway, our hard-earned greenbacks also get us the Gen 5 Racecraft suspension, bigger brakes to keep up with those extra horse ponies, specifically designed wheels, and new Continental tires to round out the package. Steve Saleen, founder, said, and I quote, "This 302 White Label is the most comprehensive design ever for our 302 White Label. There is a lot to like about the new S650 platform. Much has been said about this model, and we addressed it. We are quite proud of the end result." Steve also continued, and I quote, "Be sure to subscribe to Ducati Diaries to be immersed in Mustangs, motorcycles, and man stuff." Okay, I made that last part up, but that doesn't make it any less true. Now slap that subscribe like the red-headed stepchild it is, and let the rest be history. Sorry if that offended you. Not really, though. And I fully agree with Steve. This car is gorgeous. Price is set at $61,990 US, right up there with the Dark Horse, but more importantly, with Saleen, you won't have dealer markup. Just something to think about. Now, I personally feel that Dark Horse is way more tuned to be a track-slaying machine, and I'd personally go with the Dark Horse because of that, and because how cool is the Dark Horse. But for those who want something even more unique, Saleen has you covered. Expect news of Saleen's upcoming yellow label with 745 horsepower and black label with 800 horsepower coming soon. Boys and girls, the California Special Package is upon us. For only $1,995, you can get this eye feast on the Mustang GT's premium trim. It's got a lot of blue, and I do mean a lot. Rave blue to be precise, and it's pretty much all over the car and in the car. You have two different 19-inch wheel options, and if you get the Mustang GT's Performance Package, the wheels have rave blue pockets, which do look pretty cool. You've got your Cali Special badges here and there, and we're pretty much done. But one thing is for sure, if you really want to stand out among the Mustang crowd, this one with the rave blue highlights is for you. I haven't quite seen boisterous rims like this in a while or ever, and I like what Ford has done here with this fun package. Is this better than the previous California Specials? Would you buy it? Why or why not? Let me know your thoughts, and always remember the motto, always be kinder than necessary, and I'll see you in the next one. And watch for the secret code word now that you watched the full video. How conveniently this is placed. Sorry, not sorry.